G'day everyone, welcome to the Bothy.
G'day.
Another sacred cow that's dying here. We were all told, remember, that the sun is free. Remember that? We were all told us the sun is free. It comes down for nothing. Now you're having to pay for it. The government's planning to tax you. They've got a sun tax on your solar panels. It just shows the absurd levels to which we've run our energy system into the ground. It is so sad.
First thing I wanted to talk about is what this government's done over the last 10 or 15 years with solar. And I'm not talking about solar in the farms. Yep. I'm talking about solar on my roof and a lot of other houses' roofs. So solar was sold to us 15 years ago as a way to lower our power bills. But I should have got onto the con then, because our council was one of the few that had a hard cap on how big kilowatts your inverter was allowed to be. So in our precinct, you're only allowed up to 4.9 kilowatts as an inverter, so you can never get free power. And it's hard to achieve free power anyway, because when we're sucking power in that we could be using for free, we're at work or school or whatever. So it's always been hard to achieve that. Then you get home and the lights go on and you cook and you wash and you do everything else using grid power. Initially, we were getting 60 cents per kilowatt hour. Then it was 19. Then it was 6. Now it's 0. Now we're being told by the Australian government that we're going to have to pay to put power back into the grid.
Yeah, that is a rot.
Yeah.
So what's the sun tax you've uncovered?
Yeah, I think a lot of people aren't aware of this, but come mid-next year, if you're in New South Wales and on the Ausgrid network, you will be paying to export your solar energy to the grid. You have to actually pay. Now, for some consumers, apparently, under questioning today, there won't be any way of getting out of this, apart from building some kind of Mr. Burns contraption and blocking off your solar panels from the sun, putting them under shade or something. You'll be paying a tax because you have solar panels on your roof. Now, the rationale for this is to force people to buy a battery. But what if you don't have $10,000 at least? It costs at least $10,000. What if you don't have $10,000 to buy a battery? You have to pay that tax.
And when I looked up the reasons for why we're paying, it's because that we don't contribute as solar users, to where we've spent tens of thousands of dollars putting solar into our house, we don't contribute fairly to the cost of the network, the power poles, the wiring, the changing to green energy.
What a crock of shit.
So we're going to be paying for that now. Now, they're saying it's not very much, but I watched one Labor government politician explain the other day that if we don't think it's fair and we want to keep our costs down, we should get rid of gas if we really want to have it. Yeah. Well, you know what? No, not doing that. We cook with gas.
Yep.
Our hot water is gas.
Service.
Our heating is gas. Yep. And they tried to take gas away from us once already, and that ain't it. Yeah. So it feels like we've been conned. So I'm going to do, in fact, I've already done it, and a lot of people I know are going to do it. The inverter's been switched off, and we're just going to suck power from the grid, and let's see how often we have blackouts now, because we're having blackouts more and more, man. It's getting right out of control. Yep. So the government want to play the game. No worries, everybody with solar, switch the effing thing off, and let's just draw from the grid and see what happens then. How can they charge us for money? We've paid for the equipment. It's like these stupid wind.
Yeah, they're vampires, mate. That's all we are.
Jeez, it really has.
It's vampires.
So, they wanted us to bring the solar panels on to help them get to net zero. Now they're penalising us.
Yeah.
And we never got free power, ever. In the, I think it's 13 years we've had our system. So, anyway, very frustrating.